And we are live while we're notifying some of our folks that we have gotten on this Substack. I want to reintroduce myself, Catherine Pichardo, President and CEO at Latino Victory, our national organization focused on building Latino political power at all levels so that our voices and values are reflected in the policies that move our country forward. So I'm super excited today to be joined by dos guerreras, two luchadoras, two fighters who are on the front lines with me doing this work. And I wanted to make sure we highlight Ade and Diana, the work that you do, because honestly, one of my favorite things about Latino Victory is that we're a small but mighty organization and mostly led by women. I'm excited to have this discussion. We're going to keep it very relaxed, since all know each other very well. But for the purposes of everyone else, I would love for you to introduce yourselves, and then we can dive in to the work and how we're gonna win back Latino voters. So, Diana, why don't we start with you?
Thank you, Catherine. My name is Yana Vula. I am the senior political coordinator here at Latino Victory. I've been with the team for 3 years now, and I'm very happy to be here.
I am Adelis Ferro. I am the Director of Partnerships and Outreach at Latino Victory. I also wear a hat as a co-founder and executive director of the Venezuelan American Caucus, which is a project powered also by my mothership, Latino Victory. I am an activist, an advocate, and I have been with Latino Victory for 4 years now. Proud, happy, and more excited than ever, no matter what. Let's do this.
I like that, Ade, and I always kind of knew to keep the energy high. It is important work that we have. But I'll start with you, Diana, and I know you started Latino Victory as an intern. So tell me a little bit about that experience, because I find that a lot of the folks that we work with in the trenches are young people that are looking to get engaged in the political process. So, as a young person who came to us as an intern, tell me a little bit about what got you motivated to do this work, and what powers you every day.
Yes, so I joined the Latino Victory team as an intern in my senior year of college and was motivated not only by the amazing work that the organization was doing. It was a critical time. It was ahead of the 2024 election, and it was a time where everything was at stake. So, through the work and the guidance of amazing mentors here at the organization, I learned so much, and I was lucky enough to stay on. And here I am, and fighting the good fight, and hopefully continue to make a difference.
Thank you, Diana. And there's so many young people that feel disengaged from the political process, so it's really exciting to work with you and get that perspective on a daily basis. So we know Latino voters are poised to make a huge difference in the midterms next year. But frankly, this is not surprising to us, right? We know that the Latino voting power has been growing steadily for several cycles now. This past year, we had over 36 million Latino eligible voters that we were communicating with, as well as, of course, um, lots of work around new voters, young voters, disaffected voters. So tell me how you see the 2026 election. And, folks are listening about these redistricting fights in Texas. Obviously, we're expecting a vote today in the Senate tonight, probably very shortly. We see that as a response, California is also come up with a redistricting plan, and other states have talked about that as well. Um, what does it feel like to be in this moment at a time when our communities are under attack and there's so much happening? How does that guide the work that you guys do within the political department at Latino Victory?
Well,
I'll go to you first.
oh, okay. Um, hmm. I think, well,
I
in
know
my,
we get emotional when we start talking about
yes,
these things.
yeah,
So I
yes,
could see
I
that
know,
happening.
I know. My personal experience as an immigrant, as a community leader in my diaspora, I think has influenced definitely, and my own experience for where I come from in Venezuela and everything that we have lived politically speaking there with a dictatorship, an authoritarian regime, and all the traits that sometimes are incredibly and impactfully um, similar to some things that we are uh, seeing right now in the United States. Obviously, all of that has influenced my belief and on that political decision, whether on immigration, education, healthcare, directly impact Latino families and especially minorities, not only Latinos, but minorities where the most vulnerable people are. And I think that's something that people are realizing more and more every day as one of the, as I like to call them, the silver linings of everything that is happening right now with this redistricting uh, flood of news every single day. Even though there are people that don't know that all of this is happening, they are feeling the effects of everything that is happening in the economy, with the tariffs, with the political situation, with the persecution of the immigrants, because the immigrants, one way or another, affects their work and their influence on the community. We are affecting everyone's lives right now in the United States, one way or another. So uh, I think that's why I do what I do every single day. This is more of I don't, I think this is my call in life to help to build the infrastructure, partnerships, and opportunity, especially for the Latinos, not only for us to have a seat at the table that honestly we deserve. We are more than 60 million Latinos in this country, and but also to build the power to shape the future of this country as a whole, because I truly believe that America is about all of us without labels. But as Latinos, we have to work harder, stronger, and many times harder and stronger than other groups. And it is fine with me. I know we're going to make it. I know this moment in history is a breaking point, and I have faith that we're going to overcome stronger and more united. And that's what I am working for. And that's what I am so proud to work with and for Latino Victory on this endeavor.
And I will say, Ade, you know, we talk about our Latino community, right? We're talking really about many different diasporas. So you spoke about your experience as a Venezuelan, my experience as a Dominican American. We also have Diana and her experience as a Mexican American. The fact is that we have lived experiences that are separate, but also so many shared lived experiences that bring us together. And so it really brings us to the Latino voter problem for 2026, right? What we saw in 2024 was a breakdown of the Latino vote as most pundits understood it, but it's something that we could have seen coming since 2016, right? This coalition that was able to deliver for Democrats 60 to 70% of the vote consistently just disappeared, right? And that's how we saw Trump make the gains that he did in last year's election, which he's hoping will hold for 2026. I'm not quite so sure. We've already seen
Doesn't look like.
we've already seen his support drop them dramatically in the 6 months that he's been in office. And so in terms of our work, right? And for those who have joined us, fighting disinformation, uplifting Latino candidates, earning the trust of Latino voters back, right? And really organizing year round to get out the vote in a way that makes sense for our communities. It requires a real transition from, okay, we registered them to vote, to there's education about the issues, there's support in our communities, to there's civic engagement and activism, and to ultimately, right, running for office. And we talk about representation. um Latinos are almost 20% of the population. We're less than 2% of elected officials nationally. A lot of that work is what you do, Diana, with our Path to Victory program in terms of training and supporting Latino candidates. Do you want to speak about that a little bit, um, for those who are
Yes.
listening?
Yes, candidate recruitment and engagement is at the heart of what Latino Victory does. Through our Latino Victory project, we and through our signature program, Path to Victory, we've trained over 100. I want to say 200. I forget the exact number.
Just
Um,
this past year,
yeah,
350 in the 10 years we've been around.
300 we've trained over 350 candidates in running for office. Path to Victory is a 2-day boot camp designed to equip prospective candidates, campaign staff, volunteers, with all of the tools that they will need, not only to run for office, but to make a difference and make an impact in their communities. Our next training, actually, it's in California, but we have many more planned for the rest of the year, and we are very excited to continue doing that work.
I am too. I will say, Diana, you have really, with this program, over the past year, expanded the depth and breadth of our outreach, which I'm really excited about, because the fact is that, the more Latinos run, the more Latinos win. And so, really going into communities, recruiting candidates, that goes to the heart of how we move this work forward. So I'm excited that both you and Ade have been very, um, diligent about working with local groups, working with state groups, with our national groups, to get folks engaged in this program and help train candidates to win. So
And
there's a lot of important races happening this year, from school board all the way to mayors, right? We have a endorsed candidate for mayor of New Orleans in Louisiana, and we have other amazing candidates that we're working with. But everyone has their eye on 2026.
yes.
Say that again, Ave.
Adelita Grijalva.
Yes, of
We have
course.
something there. Yeah.
One of our proud winners this year. But a lot of folks have their eye on 2026 and the midterm elections. And so I know the way that you organized our slate this year is a little different from previous years, right? We always endorse candidates in the year in which they're going to be elected. But this year, we wanted to make sure we got our foot in the door much sooner to provide support, with our champions, who are Latino candidates, who are elected officials, who we've endorsed in the past. And then, of course, also some new insurgent candidates in a red to blue slate. Tell me a little bit about the red to blue slate. Are there any candidates you're excited about?
There's many candidates that we're excited about, and it's a slate that will continue to grow throughout the year and into next year. And these are all races that we must not take for granted. In these seats, Latinos are the margin of victory, and all of them, they're all very important. And as you said, this is why it's important for organizations like ours to invest early and to do the work early so that we can make a greater impact and not let what happened in the past happen again.
Ada, did you want to add anything there?
Yes. First of all, we know that now we have districts and positions that we were not expecting 8 months ago to be flippable, and now they are. So the opportunities and the motivation to work harder and broader, it's bigger. And I think it is important to also say for the people that is gonna watch us and that the people that is watching us right now, that besides empowering the Latino uh, uh, leadership to run for office and to have a better and bigger representation, we are not just asking also Latinos to vote. We are building the power that makes politicians listen. Because all of these people that we are taking to power, we are going to make them hold them accountable, and we're going to make us listen to us because we are giving them that power. And I am talking not as an organization right now, but as a citizen, as a person from the communities. And I think that's really important. On the ground, organizing for us means meeting people where they are and turning everyday conversations into political power. And I think that is important. It is not only about the election date, it is not only about the get out the vote. That's important, but it's about engaging the community. That looks like working with trusted local partners, lifting up Latino leaders in their own communities, and making sure they have the tools to succeed. It's about registering voters also, but not only about registering voters. It's about listening first, connecting the issues that matter the most, and showing people that their voice on the ballot can change our future. And I think that's the most important thing.
And let's get real. It's not just about Latino districts, right? We have districts where we have majority Latino populations and we have Latino candidates. But the fact is that Latinos will make a difference in every single race that matters this year, next, and into the future as the largest growing portion of the electorate. So now's the time to re-engage in a real way, right? And really start to build the infrastructure so that we can keep reaching out to our community for years to come. Just on the congressional seats, right? If you look at the 30 to 35 battleground districts where there's opportunity due to the partisan voter index or any other factors, um, at least 10 of them have 30+% Latino population. We're in a time and place in our country where elections get decided by less than 1%. So even if you don't have high Latino populations in a state like Virginia or even in New Jersey, um, the Latino vote can make the difference for the Democratic Party to win. And so that's the work that we do day in and day out, right? Working with our communities, as you mentioned, meeting them where they are, fighting disinformation, and engaging in a real way with local partners that are on the ground. Let's go to 2024. Where were you on election day, Diana? Do you remember?
I do. I do. I remember I got a very sweet call from you right after the election results, and I remember what you said to me. We got to keep fighting. I was very sad. There was a few tears that were shed, but I remember your phone call. We got to keep fighting.
Um, Wow, I had forgotten about that phone call, but see, that's what happens when you're an unscripted call at Latino Victory. You get real talk from real people. What about you, Ada? Do you remember where you were on election day?
Yes, I had 4 interviews after 8 p.m. It was one of the toughest 4 hours of my life. And because I was one of those people that I was called alarmist, exaggerated by many, and but I knew what was coming, and I cry every every time I finish one interview. I cried a little bit, and then uh, get ready for the next interview right away. It was a tough night, but I knew right away that we should take we should take a break, but go back. Because in my case, in my personal case, as I have told this several times in different interviews, I already lost a country. I cannot lose another one. So I was determined, super sad. And it's funny that you are asking me that today, because today I just got tickets to go to see Kamala for her book tour here in Miami in November. And it was a rough moment whenever I was doing that, because everything got very fresh again. But here we are. And and the bad moments are the moments that teach you. And believe it or not, that so many times strengthens you and gives you the determination to get better. And in my life, I have had several personal, personally in my personal life and in my public life. And I think it was really bad. Was really bad.
Well,
But it's gonna
but we will prevail.
and I think exactly, and I think it is bad, but it's going to get better, and we are going to help to make it better, and we're going to make history, and I am totally convinced that we're going to prevail.
I am too, Ale. And I will tell you, I was on TV commentating for Univision at the time. Um, and, like many of us, was, uh, I guess, disappointed doesn't do it justice in the election results. And I will tell you that my first, several months of calling to um, speak with advocates and colleagues and donors, half the time, the first half of the call was always therapy, because we we all had to make sense of what had happened. But despite the disappointment at the top of the ticket, I am extremely proud of the victories that Latino Victory did have last year. In 2024, we helped elect 63 Latinos at all levels of office. We endorsed the greatest number of Latinos that we had ever endorsed in 2024. And we're able to up our win rate by 20 points, which really, in a red wave year, was not something that we thought we could do. And so, despite the disappointment at the top of the ticket, I am grateful that we had the vision and the hard work to focus and hone in on our mission to build Latino representation. And the fact is that I think we could do it again. That's why it's important. And, we do these Substacks to talk to people about the work that we do, engage other interesting voices, make sense of the world that we're living in. But certainly, it's an opportunity for us to share the plan, right? And when we talk about Latino voters in 2026, we're not giving up. We're going after every single person in a real way. And so it's not just about engaging voters, but really bringing them on board. And I appreciate both of you and the work that you do. That's why I wanted to make sure we did this Substack together, to share that work with our community. And of course, in addition to the work to engage Latino voters, is the candidate work. And we talked a little bit about that through recruitment, training, and support. Latino Victory has a superpower, which is that we have a C3, the Latino Victory Foundation, from where we do a lot of our nonpartisan voter registration, voter education, and cultural programming to uplift our community at this time when we're under attack. The Latino Victory Project, of course, that engages in issue advocacy on frankly the issues that matter to us, right? Economic opportunity and healthcare and climate and guns and safety. Really, we have that lived experience, so we are able to communicate on those issues from a culturally competent perspective, and that's why we got to make sure we are a voice for our community. And that's where we run all of our signature programs like Path to Victory, and then of course there's the Latino Victory Fund, from where we endorse and support candidates, both through direct contributions, as well as independent expenditures. So if there's any candidates out there, we want to talk to you. And we want to make sure that you can be successful, because if you win, we all win. Is there anything else, Diana or Ale, that I missed as we're sharing with everyone a little bit about our political work and where we go next?
Diana, go first.
Well, just to echo what you were saying there, if there are any candidates who are interested in Latino Victory support, latinovictory.org/endorsements. Please don't hesitate to fill out that endorsement inquiry form. We're always really excited to learn about your races, and we thank you. We thank you so much for running and taking that first step and being leaders. And the fight doesn't stop; it continues, and we want to be part of it.
I want to say that besides inviting candidates or possible candidates or people wondering if they can run, you can run, you should run, especially if you are Latino, but anyone. If you want to run, do it. We need you. Having said that, Latino Victory we couldn't be able to do what we do without your support. So if you believe that this is the best time ever to have representation at every level of government, please consider donate to Latino Victory. Go to latinovictory.org and donate any amount that you can. Uh, in this moment in time, in this moment in history, we always said this is going to be the most important, the most important election of our lifetime. Well, I'm going to tell you this. Every single election, local, special, small, big, midterms, every single one is going to be the most important of our lifetime. So we need you. We need your donations. And I would like to finish this live with a phrase that I love, because we need you all. There is an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And I think that's a phrase that we all should embrace right now and get united and work together as much as possible in every way we can. Thank you for giving us this opportunity, Jefa.
Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me. And thank you to everyone who joined today and who will be listening later on. We appreciate you. Natasha, I see you. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Bye-bye.